Are you Lubavitch or?
I grew up in Lubavitch. I'm a hybrid from Lubavitch, Shlomo Karlebach.
Right, I see.
And yeah.
I see.
מלכה, כמה זמן את כאן בארץ?
היום האחרון. לא האחרון, אבל אני צריכה לחזור הלילה.
הבנתי.
We're going to page 87 today. We may have skipped something in between, but it doesn't matter. Where did we stop, Nicole? Do you have what are your notes?
My notes are on 88.
Well, we're on 88 already. Good. Okay.
But he's a new person and she's a new person, so maybe it's not over.
And so are you. So we're going to start in 87.
I'm a new person every single day.
Designed by God.
מחדש בכל יום.
Wow.
Now I know I better up my level of sheer. Moshe, come on. Give him a book, please. 87.
You know, he's a nice person, you know. I've gotten to
Everybody comes to some extent.
I like everybody I don't have to live with, mind you.
Okay, weiter.
That's why I get along with my children so well.
Sharpen your pencil inside the bag. Okay? When you sharpen your pencil, sharpen it inside the bag.
Yes,
Right.
I wouldn't dirty up the
So Moshe, open the door, please. Okay. He was coming on time pretty much most of the last week. I guess we'll have to give him a little bit of mystery, you know.
Who are you talking to?
Shire. He wants a plastic chair. Can you move over one, please? No, move over one this way. Okay. Oh. Shire doesn't like wood. He likes plastic.
I love my back. I love myself.
It's actually, these chairs are actually pretty comfortable, wouldn't you say?
Your back is good.
I'll tell you in an hour.
Okay. So we started this piece yesterday, and it's quite a mind bender. And what I want to tell you is that as much as I'm going to explain, the only way that you're really going to get it is you're going to have to meditate on it. You know? So at least now, you know, like if somebody sees you and they think that you're daydreaming, you can tell them I'm meditating on this class.
That's an excellent excuse. Right.
Okay?
He hope you learn something.
Showing the land. So to know that everything is chesed chinam. Chesed means kindness, right? And chinam is for free. In other words, versus when you think that you deserve something. Okay? So he says, Chachamenu amrim shebarosh Hashanah tzadikim gemurim nechtamim la'alter l'chaim. The Gemara says that the completely righteous are immediately signed and sealed assigned into the book of life.
What is the word la'alter?
Immediately, the altar. So, I want to ask you, who are these completely righteous people? Listen to what the real tzaddikim and all the rabbis have to say. They say like this: these are the people who believe with perfect faith, that even though they don't deserve anything, that despite the fact that we don't actually deserve anything, God is still going to give us a good year. Do you understand that? If a person thinks I deserve it,
Certainly doesn't.
he doesn't deserve it. For sure he doesn't deserve it. Again, I'm sure that your mind is going a little bit, what's he saying over here? Why are the tzaddikim immediately signed into life? Because the tzaddikim know that they really don't deserve anything. Tzaddikim amitiyim yodim she'em adayin lo asu shum davar. The real tzaddikim know that they haven't done anything yet. Another book around. Yeah. The real tzaddikim know that they haven't done anything yet. Somebody asked the Chayz of Lublin, when was the last time that you did a transgression? And he answered, instead of asking me when I did the last transgression, ask me if I ever did a mitzvah properly. Okay, so what's going on? One more line on the next page. He believed that he still hasn't done even one mitzvah in its completeness. So, you know that it's very interesting. In this week's Torah reading, Parshat Kitavot, we have a huge section of curses. We call it the Tochacha, right? And in many shuls, the custom is they don't actually even call anybody up for that aliyah. They actually just say, Yaleh Mishi Yitzeh. Let whoever wishes to go up, let him go up for this aliyah. And in other shuls, the custom is that the one who reads the Torah takes the aliyah. In this shul that I used to attend when I was a kid, it's interesting. There was a person there that's a survivor who was a capo during the war. And they used to call him up because there were people there that just, like, it was very hard to forgive him. Anyway, so if somebody has a relationship with God that's on the level of, I did so much, therefore I deserve X and Y and Z, right? I did so much good, therefore I deserve so much reward. I did so much not good, I can understand that I should get so much retribution. People who had that attitude during the Holocaust came out of the Holocaust without, they lost their faith. Plain and simple, lost their faith, because with that kind of thinking, there was nothing that nobody could explain according to what we learn in the Torah. The Holocaust, there's nothing that makes sense. It's not where it usually is. Did we lend it to someone? Oh, when Netzach took the blanket the other day when they went to the hospital, they didn't take the Agala? No.
So what you're saying then, as much as we do.
Well, I didn't finish. Okay. So if you go on the basis of accountancy, keeping your cheshbon, I did this much, I deserve this much, and etc. You can't explain the Holocaust. A couple of years ago, there was a woman here one night during the Parsha class, and we were talking about something similar, or maybe the same thing. She said that she had just attended a class. She had just attended a class. And she heard this rabbi give a whole talk about the Holocaust, and he explained it all. And she was about to repeat what she heard, and I told her, "Excuse me, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear a word of it." And no human being can pretend that they can explain why a million kids were murdered. What human being has that, or all the other atrocities that went on? What human being has that chutzpah to say, "Oh, it makes sense to him"? So if it makes sense to you, then fine, go learn somewhere else. You know, the Lubavitcher Rebbe never tried to explain the Holocaust. Never tried to explain it. You know, he just said that for some reason or other, Hashem decided that all these people have to die al Kiddush Hashem, and it means they all died just because they were Jewish. They died al Kiddush Hashem. Do you understand why? No. Don't even try to understand why. The only one that's the only one that we're ever gonna, when Mashiach comes, then maybe we'll find out. In Reb Steinsaltz's commentary on the Parsha, on this week's Parsha, he relates that he met this woman who was the only child survivor of the Vilna Ghetto. And she was from a totally non-observant background. And she told him that when she read Sefer Dvarim, the book of Deuteronomy, and this week's Parsha, she became religious. Why? Because she says all the curses that are in this week's Parsha, she saw with her own eyes. And when she saw that all this was true, she said, then for sure the rest of the Torah is also true. Which is similar to the story with Rabbi Akiva, where he was walking with his friends, and they saw a fox trotting around in the grounds of the Holy of Holies, and they rent their clothing, and he was laughing. What's wrong with you? I don't know if they said it in those words. What do you think? Probably not.
They did, though. They did.
Yeah,
They did say it similar that time.
I know.
What's
Why are you
going on with you? Why are you laughing? It was
I know,
similar.
I know,
It was
I know.
actually. You're pretty close.
So.
That's it. The other shit.
Was is there? Yeah.
More is cutting.
Anyway, so he said that now that he sees this particular prophecy has come true, now he's certain that the other part of the prophecy, which is that it's all going to be rebuilt and this. Everything's going to be restored. Now he's positive that that's also going to come true. So the point is that our relationship with Hashem is not to be understood in terms of, like that God is this master school teacher that keeps a record how many times you came late to shul, and if you did your homework or if you didn't do your homework and so on. That's not what Hashem is about. So,
Can I add something?
no, please hold. It's a difficult concept, and please hold. So he says on page 80 at the second line. Rosh Hashanah, Anu b'tzrichim, and Rosh Hashanah we are sure. I'm sorry, Anu b'tzrichim. We are a man, a fro, a man. We Anu b'tzrichim the we trust God that it will be good. Not because we deserve it.
Coming to us.
Ella, but even you coming in? Judy's, I think she's upstairs. What? Okay. Thank you. Huh?
I had to choose.
Yeah. So, למרות שלא מגיע לנו, אלא גוואלד, אנחנו יודעים שיש לנו אב רחמן. Now here's the key to understanding this. Even though we don't deserve it, but it's amazing. We know that we have a compassionate Father. Understand? And that's the whole point. When you're relating with God, are you relating with God as some kind of a big general, or like, a game master, so to speak, like, and it's a question of how many points you get, or you're relating with God on the basis of, this is my Father, and he's full of compassion. Okay? And and as you know, in the ideal father-child relationship, or parents and children, they always have compassion for their children. It's true that many parents don't act that way, or that's because they haven't matured they haven't matured into this ultimate relationship, right? If we're treating God like a game master, so we haven't matured into the relationship with Hashem either. Okay. תארו לכם, imagine, שאני נכנס לרוטשילדס, מבקש $1,000,000 כדי להקים ישיבה. I go meet Rothschilds, I want $1 million to build a yeshiva. ואני אומר לו, אני say to him, אדון רוטשילד, אתה חייב לתת לנו. We have to contribute. כמובן שהוא מיד יקטע אותי, so obviously he's going to cut me off right away, ויאמר, אני לא חייב לך כלום, I don't owe you anything. אולי הוא גם יזרוק אותי החוץ, לפתור מיד. אבל אני אומר לו, but instead I say to him, אני יודע שאתה לא חייב לנו כלום, אבל אנחנו מבקשים ממך. I know that you don't know us anything, but we're asking you. צריך לחשוב על זה, we have to think about this ולדעת בעומק הלב. לא מגיע לי, I don't really deserve it, אבל הקדוש ברוך הוא רוצה לי, but God is ready and desiring to give me. So the question is like this might help us. Before our souls came down to this world, were they being nourished? They were being nourished, right? And they're being nourished over here too. So what's the advantage? What's the advantage that of our souls coming to this world? So in heaven, the food that we receive, the nourishment that we receive is called in the Zohar Muhammad the Kisufa, the bread of Shem. The bread of Shem.
Because they're getting it for nothing.
Because
right?
they're getting it for nothing. In other words, so the gift of the neshama is that Hashem created this world so that you can earn your nourishment, right? Your own one slice of bread that you earned tastes much better than 9 slices of free bread, right? Now that's a gift. The fact that Hashem created this whole situation that we can do that, that itself is a gift to the soul.
I bet you that's the reason why some people come out of the soup kitchen after they eat and they're still hungry. I bet you that's the reason. Because they're being God for nothing.
Very, very possible. Yeah.
I never thought of it that way.
So you know, when I was teaching in elementary school, let's say grade 5, grade 4, grade 3, the kids would come in the morning, and I can tell on their faces who got breakfast because the parents were told by the social worker, listen, you better feed your kid. And who got breakfast because it was an expression of their parents' love for their child, right? So the thing is that, what's my relationship with God? Do you remember a few weeks ago, Parshat V'etchanan? Moshe Rabbeinu was praying to God to come to Israel. How many times did he pray? 515. Did you go somewhere with it that you were? Did you go to somebody's house with it that you were taking a bunch of stuff? Yeah. Okay, see you. Okay. So, where was I?
515 times.
Yeah, he prayed 515 times to get into Eretz Yisrael. Rashi says over there on the word V'etchanan, Rashi says, even though the righteous have plenty of good deeds with which they could say to God, you know, I deserve it, right? They only ask for matnat chinam. They don't relate on the basis if I deserve it or not. And that's how Rashi explains the word V'etchanan. He's asking for chen. What's chen? Chen is grace. He's asking for something, for God to be gracious with him, not because he deserves it, just to be gracious. Okay.
I
Now, okay, go ahead.
I didn't say you're letting other people speak.
Go ahead.
You said that God doesn't operate on the basis of accounting. If we're doing accounting, we're not going to understand God. That's not going to seem right.
I didn't say exactly that, but because there is reward and punishment also. You understand? It's not like there isn't. There are consequences to what we do. But that's not what defines the relationship. You understand what the difference?
I want to add.
Do you understand the difference, what I'm saying? In other words, there is the relationship.
It doesn't define the relationship, but I want to add a little bit more uncertainty here. Because I think that we don't understand. I'm not saying something you don't know already, but we don't understand what we see in the so-called reality is only a tiny, tiny, tiny small portion of what really Hashem sees.
It's just a thin layer, yeah.
Tiny, very thin layer. So
Right.
what may seem to us unjust may be very just. We don't have the whole picture. And so to say that Hashem is not just, and he doesn't do the right thing, or he's not loving because it looks like loving. It's maybe part of it is that we don't understand we don't understand what's really going on. We cannot possibly understand it.
That's why I'm asking you to be careful. I didn't say that Hashem is not loving. I didn't say that Hashem is not just. You're right. We don't understand it. But that's not the issue. In other words, what Reb Shlomo is saying over here, it's not just a matter of do you accept that you don't get the whole picture and that for sure what God is doing is just. That's true. The point that Reb Shlomo is making over here is he's talking about the tzaddikim gemurim is that the essence of their relationship is beyond whether I deserve or whether I don't deserve. What happens is also related to what we deserve, don't deserve. We don't see the whole picture, this and that, and so on. That's fine. But it's not just that we don't understand it because we don't see the whole picture. That's only a part of our relationship. A parent who disciplines his child, there's a much deeper relationship going on there. That's the point that Reb Shlomo is making. What is your relationship with Hashem? Is it oh, I better behave myself, otherwise I'm going to get grounded for the weekend, or Dad might not let me drive his car? Is that the relationship? That might be true. That might be part of the relationship, but that's not the relationship. That's the point.
Another aspect. You're talking about how we relate to Hashem, not to expect. I'm saying from Hashem's point of view, Hashem may be very just. And
I heard that.
What you said is that maybe Hashem is not just and we shouldn't expect him to be just.
No,
we didn't say that, but
that's what
could
I'm
be
saying.
implied from what you said.
No, don't imply that at all. I'm glad that you're saying this because I don't want you to walk out thinking that I made that implication. Hashem is totally just. Before a person dies, we say tziduk hadin. We accept God's judgment. The mourners say, Baruch, they make a blessing, Baruch Dayan Ha'emet, that God is the true judge. There's no question about that God is just. But if you're trying to relate with God on that level, you're going to get into trouble because you're not going to be able to figure it out. And if you need to figure it out, and you're going to say, I don't understand it, and it doesn't make any sense to me. But besides that, even if you believe that everything that Hashem does is just, the question still is, what's your relationship with God? That's the point. What's your relationship with God? Is your relationship with God that He's the big game master, so to speak? Okay? And He's keeping track of how many points you've got and so on? Or is your relationship with God with Av HaRachaman, the compassionate Father? Okay? There's no question. I'm not even going to the question of is God just or not. That in Judaism, that's a given. Whether I feel that way, whether I believe it 100%, it doesn't matter. That's a given in Judaism, right? And now you can raise a question. So then, what was Avraham Avinu saying to God? "Hashofet kol haaretz lo yaseh mishpat." How could you're going to wipe out the righteous together with the wicked and so on by Sodom? It's a whole pshat there in the parasha. How do you read the parasha and what exactly is going on over there? Okay. Shai, I'm opening the air conditioner for 2 minutes. You can come sit over here if you want, but leave the chair already and just make it easy.
I'll bring it back.
Okay, bring it here. Switch with Maishi. Okay, Maishi, switch with him. Thank you. You want water or vodka? I saw you at the Fabrengen.
It's a wonderful show.
I know. They pour vodka like water.
And these are young guys.
And that's right.
Reb
Somebody
Shlomo.
Rabbi Garbus has it.
It's on Elio
Oh,
Salman.
Rabbi Garbo.
Halfway
He
down.
teaches at my
Oh, yeah, he's
I
great.
found it.
He's very
He
bright.
has the opinion. I like Dublin.
You've been there, yeah?
I'm number 16, Elio. This is number 14, right next door.
Who are you telling me about that?
And they have a
Nice.
daily
Mine up,
million at a quarter.
Yeah.
It's like more.
In between
Sham
the
is
yeshiva and
nice.
the shul. Yeah. And also the guys have more of a feeling of like, you know,
It's
just
Sunday
Yeah.
energy,
yeah.
very
That's-
It's
like
a
that,
Chabad
like-
shul,
Did that
but it's
myself
a
know it?
normal Chabad. Nothing about the Mashiach.
But did that
That's it.
Okay. So you getting that point?
I moved it over for you.
No?
No, I just moved it over.
Thank you.
You getting the point? Is God is just. Period. You understand it. You don't understand it. It doesn't matter. Whether Hashem is just or not is not dependent on whether I agree. Right?
You're talking about Abraham.
Yeah. So I'm saying, and when Avraham Avinu, I'm saying to Haidel Pshat over there, the Malbim explains that Avraham Avinu is saying he's not asking, will the judge of the earth not be fair? He's really, surely what you're doing is going to be just, but I'm praying that in the merit of the righteous, you should give the wicked a chance as well. That's Avraham Avinu's prayer. And he's not. It's like what do they call it? A question that's used as a rhetorical, right? It's a rhetorical thing. In other words, will the judge of all the earth not do justice? Of course you will, right? So how about giving me a chance to save the wicked together with the righteous people? Give me a chance, and we'll try to do something to save them.
God is good, and whatever God does is good.
Yeah.
Therefore, whatever bad happens,
It's concealed good.
and that's why, just like we make a bracha over the Torah, we make a bracha.
Yes.
Because we don't know.
Okay, but besides that, beyond that, is that your relationship with God? In other words, God is just and I accept whatever God is doing, or I'm also related to God as my compassionate Father?
What's the difference?
You know how to speak.
It reminds me of the prayer in the Amidah, Mishan Miftach L'Tzadikim.
Yeah.
Because we say the Tzadikim who use Hashem to lean and also totally believe, no matter what happens. We say our faith is not at that level. We say, I hope that my lot is like the lot of the Tzadikim. I'm a Benoni. I'm not at the level of the Tzaddik. So I hope that I can attain the trust and the faith that Tzaddik has in Hashem in my lifetime.
Are we Benoni though? I thought we
Well,
were.
you're going to go into the Tanya, forget it.
Oh, that's not.
No, he's not using the Tanya's definition. He's not using the
So
Tanya's
no,
definition.
the idea is that a complete tzaddik. So I hope that my lot is like the people who have complete trust in
You
me.
see, he's speaking two languages at the same time. With his hands, he's speaking Italian. With his mouth, he's speaking English.
Queso por favor.
So wait,
Malasa.
you're saying that the Benoni has the understanding that they hope to be
Yes.
the tzaddik.
We
Right.
aspire.
But understanding that you're not also
Right.
there.
Right.
And
It doesn't answer my question. What's the difference between viewing God as a compassionate Father and accepting what God does is good?
The question is, are you accepting that the two things? One is, are you accepting that everything is coming to you with Hashem's love? And two, are you how are you relating to God? See, are you relating to God on the level of, oh, I did 15 mitzvahs today, that's enough. I earned my keep. Or are you relating to God on, Hashem, what else can I do for you? Because I know that you love me so much and I love you too.
And on the flip side, it would be like gratitude, right? And understanding that, like, since he's my loving father, like, I don't deserve anything that I have on my own merit. But
Right.
that also doesn't mean that God doesn't want to give me things. So I can have anything that I really desire. I'm supposed to have, and I can have, and I deserve it, and I can have it without being ashamed, as long as I understand that I have it because God loves me and wants me to have it, and
Very good.
doesn't want me to, like. So it's like the understanding that, like, I have it not based upon my merits, and that I can always strive for something better, and I need to keep striving. But I'm also, like, entitled, and I like, and simply that's why I'm here, and that's why.
Very good. Moshe Rabbeinu was,
You explained it wrong.
you see, he must be studying in a yeshiva, this guy.
He had a good teacher.
He must be studying in a yeshiva.
That's what the guy.
More than one.
Yeah.
Anyway, so so that's what Reb Shlomo goes on to say. You see, so look inside the book. Now, let's just one more point with this. Do I deserve it or not? My brother is a bigger Talmid Chacham than I am. He does a lot of good things, and he too would like to be living in Israel. Right? Can I say that I deserve it more than him? Not at all. It's just, how many of your friends made it all the way from Toronto to Israel? And how many of them are still stuck there? You understand? How many crawled out of Monroe? And so on, right? Okay? And right? So if you look back at your life and you say, like, yeah, I know how I went from point A to point B to point C and so on. I know, like I bought a ticket and this and that and so on and so on. I know how I did it, but how come it happened? Like, what was behind it all? Like, what did I do something to that can say that, oh, I deserved it more than somebody else or something like that? That's the gift.
Do you want more water?
Oh, she came in. I guess she knows the combination. Is that you?
How do you answer that question? Is that you? Whoever say no, it's somebody else.
It's very existential.
That's what when my teacher would say, "Who broke the window? Is that you?" I said, "No."
I saw the doctor today. So the patient who went in, the doctor says, "How are you?" He says, "Chaim." He's alive.
Yeah. So, Reb Shlomo goes down and he says, "Sarich lachshav al zeh." You have to think about this. V'ladat be'omek halev. You have to know it deep in your heart. Lo magia li, aval hakadosh baruch hu rotze u'muchan latet. Now, notice he's saying you have to think about this, meaning that you have to meditate on this. You have to meditate on this until you're going to get it. It's not just a logical argument that we're presenting over here, right? You have to meditate on this until you get it.
On what?
That I don't deserve it, but God wants to give it to me, right? We last week's parsha, Kitei Tzei. The end of the parsha speaks about Amalek, right? Everybody remembers? Yeah. And it says that Amalek attacked the Nechshalim Acharecha, the stragglers behind you, right? So Rashi brings the Medrash. He says, who were these people? They were the people from Shevet Dan. Okay? And they were expelled from the clouds of glory. Right? While we were traveling in the wilderness, we had this awesome protection, the clouds of glory, and the people of Shevet Dan were not covered. They were expelled. So, Mr. Shem, yes, is there a Kiddush? Oh, and then we're Shalish Shuddis in Mr. Shem. Thank you. So the Chidush Yerim explains. So Shevet Dan was not. They were good people, you know. They were judged. Who was the judge that came from Shevet Dan? Shimshon. Very good, right? Shimshon. Okay. They were like the 12 tribes were divided into four distinct groups. Shevet Dan was each group had its leader. Shevet Dan was the leader of Asher and I think maybe Naphtali, yeah. So the Chidush Yerim says that their name Dan, which means judge, that reveals what their characteristic was. Their characteristic was that they were very judgmental, particularly when it came to their own selves. They judged themselves saying, we're not good enough to be in the clouds of glory. Now, a person has to be, you have to know yourself, right? You have to be able to evaluate yourself properly. But if Hashem is giving you a cloud of glory for your protection and giving you an opportunity to enter into the cloud of glory, right? Not the crowd of okay. Then who are you to say I don't deserve it? Right? Sometimes you have an opportunity to do something really special, and the Yetzer Hara comes and says, you're not good enough to do this. Well, who gave you the opportunity to do it? Hashem. Right? Hashem's giving you the opportunity to do it. So what business do you have saying, God, I don't think I'm good enough? Well, if you don't think that you're good enough, so then the clouds of glory expel them. And their self-judgment, or that humility that they had, was actually idolatrous. Not idolatrous in the sense that they were worshiping an idol, not quite like that, but it was preventing them from being in full relationship with Hashem. Right? And if I'm going to relate with Hashem on the basis of, do I deserve it or do I not deserve it? So that means I'm missing out, or I better watch out that I don't miss out on my relationship with Hashem as the compassionate Father, as my compassionate Father, as our compassionate Father.
The kesher is stronger, I think, when one views God as a compassionate Father rather than a shofet ha'ametz sort of thing. Because it was a compassionate Father who loves you, even if you make a mistake.
And you have to pay for it.
Good fashtei.
But still, Right. And I'm saying, and even if Hashem is making me pay for it, it's still my compassionate Father.
So why didn't I know this when I was younger? How come I wait to be my age? Why when I was
You're still
why didn't I know?
you're still young. You know, I once heard this guy in shul talking to his friends. I don't know what they were talking about. He says, "So what that this guy is 60 years old and I'm only 30? I already made more mistakes than him." Yeah.
It makes life a lot easier.
He's talking about with Don that they didn't believe that they deserved the clouds of glory. They didn't believe they were good enough.
Yeah.
I think it has something to do with another mitzvah you mentioned earlier this week about the Haftarah Kamocha. In order for me to believe it, I also have to love myself.
There's a similarity.
Hashem created me. If I don't have enough faith, I have to have some faith and love of myself in order to be able to love Hashem.
That's right.
That's why he tells us you have to love yourself and love others as yourself.
Got it.
If you love yourself, you can't love others or Hashem fully.
Got it.
Isn't there the Hasidic story about the very rich miser? He was the only one in the shtetl wouldn't give money. And the rabbi goes to visit him, and he sees him sitting on a stone, drinking a bowl of water. And he says, "What's that?" He said, "Well, furniture costs money. I don't want to spend on furniture. And soup costs money, so I'll just have this." And he said, "But I feel sick. I feel very sick." The rabbi says, "You know what you have to do? You have to eat caviar and drink champagne."
Caviar?
Kosher caviar. Exists such a thing. So it's a Russian one.
Oysters.
No, that's for sure. So anyway, it says you have to eat rich foods and drink good wine, because until you do that, you don't think anybody else deserves anything.
Right.
And then the guy got better, and then he gets his stuff.
And I mean, the Gemara says one of the questions that we're going to be asked when we come upstairs is, did you enjoy this world when you had the opportunity to enjoy it? And in the normal, regular tradition of the Gemara, one opinion says if you say, "Yes, I did," you're going to go to hell. And the other opinion says, "No, I didn't," you're going to go to hell. Okay? So,
Damned if you do, and damned if you don't.
Very good.
so the Gemara says, wait a minute, what's going on?
Is that a Mishnah or is that
It's a Gemara. And the Gemara explains. Question is, did you make a bracha or not? Did you take advantage of the opportunity to exalt God's name, or was it just self-interest and consumerism? I have to go to a dentist appointment, so
So,
thank you.
So we stopped in the same place where we stopped last time.
Thank you for
Yeah,
the
I'm doing
story.
mine on the thing. It'll be
The yeshiva's not here,
now.
Sometimes you have to introduce yourself.
otherwise, you can't feel it.
Right.